At Adstra, we spent over $50 million in ads, and we work with leading SaaS companies, service companies, coaches, consultants, etc. We book thousands of qualified calls and generate hundreds of thousands of qualified leads. And in this video, I want to share with you if I had to start over and I had to run traffic, start running traffic via paid ads now to get business, to get sales calls, to get booked calls, qualified leads, etc. I want to show you what I would do start to finish. How I would bid the campaign and how I'd make sure I'd maximize my dollars, because when you run ads to generate leads, you will inevitably lose money, and that's the expectation, right? So this video is going to be the procedural steps that I take from research to creation to copy to launch. And so if you don't know me already, my name is Jake, the CEO of Adstra. Like I had said before, we help leading SaaS and service companies book a whole ton of sales calls, qualified sales calls, by way of paid ads and AI. And so without further ado, I want to jump into it. Okay. So what I will say, lucky for you nowadays, running ads, it's actually simpler than it used to be. Okay. And so you just have to understand, who is my person, who am I trying to serve, who am I trying to write to, because it matters. Okay, you cannot be for everybody, you have to be only for a specific person. So what I need to know is what is the 20% of my CRM that makes up 80% of my revenue. Okay, so look at your CRM, look at the ICP. That is the 20%, because I'm telling you this is true. I've met with 2,000, 3,000 businesses, and it's always true. They have a 20% subsection of their ICP that makes up 80% of their revenue and their results. Think people who stay the longest, pay the most, easiest to work with, etc. Okay, and you want to launch ads to them, because I always say if you're going to want to dig the hole, well, you're going to have to dig the hole with this. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to have to dig the hole. You might as well get paid more for it. So you have to think behaviors, psychographics, demographics, etc. What does that person look like? You know, what is their industry? What is their employee count? You know, who do they serve? What do they look like? How do I speak to them? Okay. And then what I would do is I would do some psychographic research on them, which, by the way, if you want our research GPT bots, down below, you can download the free report. It's in there. You can have a look at our research process. But essentially, I want to know, what does their day look like? What is the conversation that they're already having in their head, and how is it that they articulate this stuff? Okay, so I want to look at what is the water cooler conversation that these people are having with their colleagues, with their wife, with their family, with their kids, etc. Okay, and their partners, their co-founders, etc., their developers, whatever, because you want to enter the conversations they're already having in their head. And I would start here before you build anything. You got to intimately understand. And you might be like, yeah, I already understand. No, you don't. Go deeper. Go into Reddit, Quora, subreddits. You know, go into these places, Amazon book reviews, Trustpilot reviews, go into G2 reviews, etc., and look at how they speak. Look at what things they hate. Look at things that they love, and get an understanding so that you can actually write something that actually makes sense to them. Okay. And then what I'll first do, okay, is I would mock that up. Okay. So you have a 1-pager, 2-pager on the person. And then what I would do is from there, I would start back to front. Okay. So I would think, what is the journey that I want to make for my customer that makes the most sense to them? Okay, if you know your sales cycle is quite long, then you want to make sure your journey is applicable to that. Okay, so what I like to do is, at the end of the day, here's how it's going to work. You're going to have an ad, which, by the way, through your research, you'll know what ad platform to run. Meta is a good place to start. You also have Google. You also have X, right? Those work really well, right? But you definitely want to make sure, where are they consuming information? You want to run those ads there. Okay, and then the best thing for lead generation, as we all know, lead generation is all about the bait. Okay, so you want to give away some sort of bait. Based on your research, that's what you give away. Okay, and I'll give you a perfect example of the best free resource. Okay, now use if useful. B2B SaaS company, okay, service company, B2B anything, use if useful, because this is a B2C example, but it's the best. So this is one of the best lead magnets I've ever seen in my entire life, which is, you know, how to know if a girl wants to kiss you. And the lead magnet was called the kiss test. And it was like, if you brush her hair behind her ear and she turns towards your hand, or she just stays there, then you can kiss her. If she turns away, then you don't kiss her. And so what does that mean? Okay, the free thing that you give away has to be fast. Okay, has to be an outcome that they want to achieve. And then also it has to lead into a call. And what do I mean by that? Because once you know if a girl wants to kiss you, you need to find her. You need to set up your Tinder profile. You need to know what restaurants you go to. You need to know how to maintain the relationship. So it's like, hey, book a call to learn how to do that. So you want to sell at the highest point of deprivation. After they've already gotten something from you, you've built trust, you build reciprocity. They did it. It was fast. They understood it. It made sense. It was valuable. But now it's like, you're missing this still. You're missing this still. You don't want to give away the whole kit and caboodle, right? And so that page can be very simple. Mind you, what works really well too is a quiz. Okay, so it's going to be a headline, it's going to be a subhead, and it's going to be some sort of mock-up of the thing, and it's going to be a button to get the thing, right? So quiz, report, calculator, case study, etc. You want to deliver fast value. This here, the making of the lead magnet, takes forever because you have to actually think. You have to actually think. You can't just go to GPT and be like, what's my lead magnet? You have to actually think. Load GPT up with all your client information, all the research that you've done, and specifically say, hey, I need something fast. I need something to lead to a call, blah, 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 blah. Which, by the way, if you want the AI bot that I train on how to make lead magnets, download the free report below. It's in there as well. Okay, so we don't have to go over it in this video. Just give it a try. Okay, and by the way, you want to probably test 2 of these. So create 2, right? And just duplicate this page so you have 2 of these pages. Okay, which, by the way, I'll use Go High Level for this. If you don't have any CMS, CRM, or whatever, and you want to make quick landing pages, you can, download it below, 14-day free trial. So you would split test it, okay? And ideally, it should be something that they want, specific to only that person. Like, if it's applicable for everybody, then, it's not going to work. For example, if you work with e-commerce owners of shops that do over 10 million a year, make sure the lead magnet's only specific to their problems and solves their specific needs, and the ad copy says it, and then also the landing page copy says it as well. And then you want to bring that to a VSL page, headline, subhead, video, okay, button to book a call, and then a bunch of testimonials below and case studies, etc. That's literally how simple that is, okay? And so you want to build this out first, and then you have a book a call page. Okay, so this is the VSL. These are the lead funnels. Okay, this is the book a call page. We'll go over the VSL in a second. And then this is your thank you page, which, by the way, if you were to go through our funnel, you would see the exact same thing. Why? Because we book 200 calls a month. So it just flat out works. Okay, thank you page is going to have a video and a headline. Now, let's start at the VSL. The VSL does not have to be long, but it has to be an articulation of their pains. You want them to understand that you understand them, like fully. Understand exactly what the day looks like, what they're going through. You want to enter the conversation in their head again. And then you want to present, hey, we have this thing, 1, 2, and 3, benefit, benefit, benefit. Do you want it? Hey, this only did this. Would that be worth it? Let's see on a call. Let's see if it makes sense for you on a call. Okay. And then obviously you have the book a call page. Okay. Mind you, not everybody's going to go through here and book, right? And so what you want to do is you want to set up sequences for people who don't book a call, because there's not going to be a lot of people who book. It's going to be like a small percentage, which is fine, about 3%. That's fine. We like those people, need low information, but it's not true for everybody. Okay. And then you have the thank you video. And so for your follow-up, you want to SMS, you want to email, which, by the way, the free report will show you everything about how to set these up and how to use the AI SMS. We have an AI SMS bot that works really well, books 41% of our calls for us. It will just literally light up the person as soon as they come in and grab the free report. They'll just light it up with, hey, how you doing? Why'd you grab the report? And then it'll continue to have a conversation if they reply. It works excellent. Email sequence, about 10 emails, and then you move them to a long-term nurture. Okay, long-term nurture, and that's like an email a week for the next 6 to 12 months. Seems like a lot of work. Yes, it is, because it works. However, if you're early and you just want to prove fit fast, pick up the phone and dial your leads as soon as they come in, because you will make sales. And all you have to say is, hey, you got the free thing, is now a bad time to chat about it. And then you set the meeting. So you don't have to necessarily do this. It will increase your aperture for success. However, if you're early and just want to prove fit fast on the thing, pick up the phone. But you do want to make sure you're following up with your leads. Okay. Now, the follow-up is going to send them to the VSL page, and then sometimes just send them back to the book a call page. All right. And then the thank you video is going to basically describe, hey, here's what you need to do on the call. Here's a bit about our program, so that you don't want to repeat yourself in the sales conversation, right? You essentially want to help your sales reps with this, because it will essentially make for an easier, faster sale. It'll be more engaged, more nurtured. So it's, hey, this call's, this video is required. Make sure you watch this. Here's a little bit what we do. Here's the demo of the thing. So you don't have to, in the sales call, you don't have to go over your thing as much. You can just literally just discover and pull out their pains and have a good sales conversation. Okay. And so starting here, you're doing $50 to $100 a day. I would create 9 ads. I would do 2 different targeting campaigns. By the way, there's videos on my channel about how to do the ad setup, how to build a lead magnet, how to write a VSL, and then the follow-up stuff. Like, I have videos on all of that stuff. Now, like I said, if you want this kind of laid out for you with all the GPT bots and everything like that, download the free report below because it has everything in there. And then if you want us to do it for you, you can just book a call on the free report. But this is essentially how I would start. By the way, it has never been easier to set up an ad account. The problem is everything post-click. So targeting is much easier, all that stuff, right? But writing, thinking about what to say, how to structure the copy is the hard part. And that's why I built other GPT bots and stuff like that. So give it a go. Let me know what you think, right? And if you're curious, you're like, you know what, I'd rather just have somebody else do this for me so I can fill up my calendar, then just book a call with us. We could see if we can help. If you're a SaaS service company doing over 500K, you have funding, we may be able to help you, but we'll see on the call. But that's it for the video. Like I said, if you want more additional information, there's other videos to watch on my channel. But I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.